Families. My name is Mrs. Smith, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit today about Mallard Creek STEM Academy's programming and curriculum, and hopefully answer many of the questions you might have as you continue through the application process. Since we've been unable to hold several of our parent information sessions, I'm going to do the best that I can to answer a lot of those questions. And then afterwards, if you have any other things that you need clarification on, you can certainly give us a call or email myself or Miss Wright, who you've been corresponding with. Mallard Creek STEM Academy opened in 2016. Our mission is to promote high academic achievement by increasing student engagement through a workshop model that encourages and empowers students to take ownership of their learning. We do this in a number of ways. Obviously, the STEM component is very engaging. STEM stands for Science, Technology, Engineering, and Mathematics. And for us at Mallard Creek STEM Academy, it means that we are using an integrative approach and providing students with lots of problem-based learning activities. So they take the foundational skills of math and science and reading and writing and apply them to learning experiences that address certain global issues. We spend a lot of time talking about social and environmental issues, issues that are relevant to the school community and to their community at large. And this model is definitely what encourages and empowers students because they feel a sense of ownership and are able to make a difference in their community. Mallard Creek STEM Academy is a North Carolina public charter school. We serve students in kindergarten through 8th grade. And last year, we finished our construction, and we now have an elementary school building, a cafeteria and gymnasium, and a middle school building which serves our 6th through 8th grade students. Some of the curriculum and instructional tools that we use are Go Math. Go Math is a math program which allows our teachers to provide a scope and sequence and structure in our math instruction. And we use it as a jumping off point for a lot of the hands-on and problem-based learning opportunities. Students have access to information online as well as in print in the classroom, and teachers can provide parents with links to resources as well. Our primary science curriculum is the STEM Scopes curriculum. STEM Scopes is a North Carolina adopted curriculum which addresses all of the North Carolina science standards, as well as providing lots of resources for teachers and those problem-based learning structures that we had talked about earlier. Our reading and writing units of study are from Columbia Teachers College Reading and Writing Project. Our teachers have been trained in the reading and writing units of study, and these are a workshop model which allows the teachers to provide whole group instruction for a small amount of the classroom time, and then students can work independently, collaboratively, and this allows the teachers to pull students into a small group to address their specific skills. We do a lot of small group instruction here at Mallard Creek STEM Academy. Our classrooms allow for a wide variety of ability levels. Our population is very diverse academically, and so we can have students in the classroom who are working a year below grade level and students who are working a year above grade level, and all of them will get what they need because of this workshop model. Teachers can then progress monitor students at their level and share individual student progress with families and with our academic leadership team. Our social studies curriculum starts with Studies Weekly. Studies Weekly also addresses all of the state standards. The format is in a magazine format or newspaper format, and so students can read a lot about those standards and then use this information to work on some individual projects related to those topics. Our elementary Project Lead the Way curriculum is available to all students, and this is done through our STEM special, as well as the collaboration between our STEM coordinator and the classroom teachers. Project Lead the Way allows students to continue working through that engineering process and problem-based learning. I'll give you an example of some of that learning. One grade has completed a project where they are learning about different environments. And so they're learning about jungles, they're learning about deserts, they're learning about savannas. And one of the projects that they have to do is that they're given a shoe, and they have to design a shoe that is going to be the best tool or the best designed to fit the ecosystem that they are learning about. And so, for example, if we were designing a shoe for the jungle, it would have to be one that could be good for gripping and climbing. It would have to be good for some wet weather during the raining season. We would have to be able to withstand bugs and snakes and those kinds of things. And so the students take all of the knowledge that they have about that specific environment and apply it to designing the best shoe for that environment. So that's just one of the fun ways that students can work on the engineering design process, because they start with the design of the shoe, and then they create the shoe, and then they share their outcomes with the group. So those are some of the curriculum and instructional tools that we use here. Those are just a few, and our teachers do a wonderful job integrating all of these to create a seamless instruction. Some more about the workshop model. We have students always working collaboratively. A majority of their time is spent working in groups on projects or on assignments that allows them to share their knowledge, share their thinking. This develops some of those listening and speaking skills, which are critical in our society and in some of the jobs that they're going to be having when they graduate from high school and college. These projects certainly bring a global awareness to students when they are addressing some of the social and environmental issues and creating solutions for them. It allows for that individualized instruction that I spoke about, where students can work in the small group with the teacher on the specific skills that they need in order to make growth and move to the next level. That addresses our intervention, and it also addresses enrichment, because as we know, students who are working above grade level also need to make growth. And so how can we challenge these students? How can we challenge their thinking? How can we challenge their leadership skills? That can also be done in that workshop model. Students have to learn lots of independence when they're working in a small group. They have to learn how to advocate for themselves, how to discuss topics in a productive way, how to listen to their partners. And when they come up with an end product, that end product really is their own. It supports all styles of learning. There are lots of ways in which teachers present materials visually, auditorily. There's, as you can see in this photo here, something for the kinesthetic learner as well. And another benefit of the workshop model is the fact that we bring experts into the classrooms to talk with our students before they get started on a project. So we might bring in a 3D software designer to talk to students about some of the software that they might be using, or we might bring in a person from a medical field or from another science field related to the project that they're working on. We've had CSI speakers talk to our students about investigating certain things and the kind of skills and tools that they need to be successful in doing that before they've embarked on a project. We talked a little bit about STEM and why STEM. Obviously, in our changing world, innovation is happening all of the time, and we want to be able to prepare our youth for anything. The jobs that some of our kindergartners have today, that we have today, when they graduate, still don't exist. So we want to prepare them for anything. And the way that we do that is by teaching them critical thinking skills about the design process, about how to go back to the drawing board when something doesn't work and start all over again, how to analyze and assess information and data to make the right decisions. And this is done best through the STEM model. Here are some photos of students at work. The middle photograph is a student of ours who is in kindergarten, and STEM does start right in kindergarten. The students read 5 pumpkins on a fence, and then they had to design a fence for their own pumpkin. So you can see that this student drew a picture, designed something, and then they had to search out the materials that were provided to them to build the fence, place the pumpkins on the fence, and then they were able to write or draw about what they thought of their design and how they could have improved it, or if they needed to improve it, if it worked, if it didn't work, and those kinds of things. So you can see that we start this STEM way of work right at kindergarten. Here are some more kindergartners building their sight words. Again, kinesthetic learning is a great way to support even the most foundational and basic skills. Here are some of our first grade engineers. This was a grateful parade that they did at Thanksgiving. They had to talk about all of the things that they were grateful for. And so you might be wondering, well, what does this have to do with STEM? Well, here the students created their own Thanksgiving parade, and it was called the Grateful Parade. They took balloons, stuck all the things that they were grateful for on them, and then attached it to a little red Solo cup. That Solo cup then sat on top of a Sphero robot. The first graders had to create a code, and you can see that our teacher there is holding a Sphero robot and an iPad, and they used this Sphero robot to navigate on a parade course, and they did all the coding for that with the help of their teacher. Here, second graders were doing some outdoor observation, asking questions, writing down their observations, and they were also learning about brain plasticity, all of the different parts of their brain, which parts of their brain are responsible for learning, for feelings, and for critical thinking. And then they got to spend some time thinking about their brain and thinking about thinking, which is metacognition, which we do a lot of here. Our third grade architects were building a penny bridge, and you can see this is one of the most classic STEM challenges. They had to decide using 3 pieces of paper and these 2 bins how they could build the strongest penny bridge. You can see they're recording their data. 4th and 5th graders are using the many robots that they have access to here, Ozobots, Spheros, and Dot and Dash, to follow some mazes, and they do all of that coding on their own. In the past, our Discovery Place partnership has supported our teachers by providing them with professional development. Discovery Place has an education studio, and that education studio is dedicated to supporting educators in building their capacity to teach STEM instruction. So they've received some teacher training related to coding, 3D printing, and drone flight. We have some drones and 3D printers on board as well. The photos that you see here, the one on the left, is of our science or STEM fair. Our STEM fair is an annual event that all students participate in. Kindergarten through 3rd graders do a class project with their teacher, and then all 4th through 8th grade students are required to do an independent project. And these vary from exploration to inventions and everything in between. We've had some really exciting STEM fair projects. As a matter of fact, a group of our girls got to exhibit their projects at the Girls Science Expo at the Explorium last year, and it was a wonderful event for them. Another question we have is, again, how do we provide honors and AIG? So AI are academic and intellectually gifted students who are identified as such, receive resources from our gifted program, which is called GATE. Our GATE coordinator provides pullout and extended learning through this program. We also offer middle school honors and middle school honors electives. This elective that is depicted here in this slide is called Medical Detectives. And so this is a human biology class, which is done through sort of a CSI spin. And these students here are dissecting a sheep's brain. They're learning about all of the different parts of the brain and finding those parts of the brain, dissecting it, labeling it. And as they do that, they are learning about how each part of the brain functions. Some additional enrichment that we have for students are clubs. After-school clubs vary from outside vendors who come and provide clubs for our students, along with clubs that are run by our teachers here. So some of them you can see here, Bricks for Kids. The Charlotte Chess Association comes to provide chess classes. That's one of our most popular ones. We have a robotics and automation club. We had a Lego League this year. Code Green is another club that deals with running businesses with an environmentally conscious mindset. We have math and science Olympiads. We have a dance club. We have Girls on the Run. There are tons of clubs that students can participate in, and they change from year to year. These are the ones that stay the same every year, but we add some as the desire comes up. We create a club, and students can enjoy that. Some other enrichment opportunities are our field trips, Discovery Place, Lowe's Motor Speedway, Greensboro Science Museum, the Biltmore, Renaissance Festival. Unfortunately, our Atlanta trip and many of our other trips have been canceled this year, but we'll be postponing them till next year, and we'll start off in the fall with some of these trips. Some field trips have been to STEM businesses also. This is the bottom picture is a photograph of our students, middle school students who went to a company here in Charlotte called Swagelock, and Swagelock designs hydraulic and other fittings for different kinds of machinery and things like that. They've actually built parts for NASA. Our students got to go look at how their people design and test products. They got to do some of their own designing. And again, our focus is to get kids to understand that the learning that they're doing here is valuable and how it can impact the world around them. What is this learning for? Where will I use this when I grow older? And so, our goal again is to get as many people as we can in contact with our school who will show students where this learning can lead them. We also have a very healthy middle school sport team. We have basketball for boys and girls starting in 5th grade. We have a volleyball team for girls in middle school and 5th grade. We have a track team, a soccer team, and a baseball team. Some frequently asked questions. We are a school uniform school. Students have a variety of uniform color tops to choose from with black or khaki bottoms. We have 2 school uniform vendors. One is Land's End and one is Add Logos, which is a local vendor. If you have applied or turned in an application, you have received or will be receiving a coupon for the Add Logos vendor here in Charlotte that you can purchase discounted uniforms through. We do offer limited transportation. This is not door-to-door pickup. We create hub stops based on those who apply so we can get as close to your house as possible. But we run several routes and go quite a distance. So you should be able to find a stop that's right for you. We also participate in the National School Lunch Program. So students who require or receive free and reduced lunch can do that here at our school as well. We offer before and after care. Before care starts at 6:30 in the morning and after care goes until 6:30 p.m. They also provide care during teacher work days and longer extended breaks like spring break and winter break. We have sibling care because we have a split start time for our school. Kindergarten through 5th grade students start school at 8 a.m. and middle school students start at 8:45. So there's a 45 minutes difference between the start and stop times of school. So if you have an elementary student and a middle school student, your elementary student, you can sign your elementary student up for sibling care and they can wait on their middle school sibling to ride the bus home together. We offer a variety of summer camps. So if you are enrolled in our school, you can take advantage of those summer camps this summer. Our summer camp includes some week-long specialty summer camps, as well as a daycare summer offering. And then, of course, we talked about the annual STEM fair, and I'll say a little bit more about that. This STEM fair is one of the projects where it is a school and home collaboration. So that means that students will be doing a majority of the work at home because of the need to do observations and testing and all of that. And so I always like to mention that. But at the end, we do have a very big STEM fair where everybody comes out to see the projects that all of the students created. And it really is a wonderful project. So that's the end of my presentation today. I'm going to leave us with a short video, and if you have any questions, you can go to our website or you can contact myself or Miss Wright, our registrar. And I'm going to leave you with this little video. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed our presentation.